Made it.
There he is. Hi, Beth.
Nick of fucking time, I might add, because we literally just went live. So what the fuck is up, internet? That was truly impressive. It was as if you busted the door in, only there's no door. For everybody out in recorded land, because this will be recorded and posted up after, I'm Jason Greenberg. I'm a content creator here at Bucketlist Entertainment, and I am joined today by my very esteemed guests. If you haven't heard of them yet, they are Trove, one Davey Muse, and Jeff Newman. How's it going, guys?
Great.
Good. How are you, man?
Doing awesome.
I am somehow alive. This whole thing is a fucking nightmare.
I think that's it's like now you've been. It's like, how you holding up? How you holding up? You doing okay? Okay, good. And like that's how it's been for everybody. But it's nice that maybe I've seen Jeff recently, not just through video, a couple blocks away from each other. I've seen him recently, so it's been nice to see people again.
That's got to be bliss.
Double vaxxed up, baby, and we're out here just kissing our friends again. So,
I'm obscenely jealous. I live in a place where they think you should only get your second vaccine 4 months after you get the first one. So
that's crazy.
Fuck me forever. But we're working on it. First vaccination. You'll get them. I'll get to smell your sweat eventually.
Canada had it like on lock. Like Canada was. I was like, dang. Babe, Canada is killing it because my wife's from Canada. I was like, wow, Canada's killing it. All of a sudden, I'm just like, no. And all my friends from Canada were sharing things with me. And I'm like, oh, I thought you guys were like on top. So we love you, Canada. We love you so much, Canada. Please get well soon.
And Canada loves you and desperately wants to see Trove live, and we will get to that. We'll kick it right off while people slowly kind of drag their asses in here and hopefully have some questions for us for anybody that is watching right now. I'm going to go through a couple of questions of my own because I toiled at these. And then once I'm all done with that, people in the crowd will be able to ask whatever the fuck they want. And we will put it up on the little screen here, and everybody goes home happy. Hopefully you guys answer them, or you can just tell people to fuck off, whatever you want. So
Jeff's really good at
that. He looks it. He looks like
he's really
primed and ready to go on that one.
You see those degrees on his wall back there? Those are all telling people to fuck off degrees.
I didn't know there was a class for that.
He's
just backing up.
Sick. All right, let's do it.
Oh my god. That is fucking hilarious. What school do you even go to for something like that?
I mean, it's kind of when I invented myself.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. So not only do you have a PhD, but you also created said PhD to begin with.
Right, exactly. And then I just print them myself on my computer, and I just buy a fancy frame, and everyone thinks they're real, so it's cool.
Yeah. He's not only the owner, he's also a client, so pretty cool. Pretty good business model, if you ask me. He's paying himself to go.
That is fucking phenomenal, and I love every inch of that. All right, so we'll dive right into it. So the first thing I got to do, obviously, you guys are relatively new-ish as a band.
For sure.
So most of this is excusable, but I'm a man that likes to do my homework in getting ready for any one of these interviews so that I don't, shit myself on camera. And I got to say, holy fuck, are you guys impossible to research. There is nothing on the internet for you fuckers.
Jeff, are you making eye contact with me right now? Are we doing that?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Please fight each other.
Yeah.
You know what that part of that is a part of it is one thing that's funny to me and Jeff. And another part of it is when I first kind of started this band, I was just doing everything that was the opposite of what I've already done. I was just like, I don't want to be on a label. I don't want any press. I don't want this. I self-released the first EP. I funded it myself. I just wanted to make some music that was awesome and fun because honestly, after doing music, as a business for a decade in the same project, the next thing that I wanted to do, I just wanted to be like, fucking not that. Like so much love for that and so much experience in my life and everything. But I just was like, okay, everything that was, Trove needs to not be any of that stuff. And I'm sure any dude in any band that toured for 10 years, when they do something new, it's like you want to, recreate magic, but you also want to like live by a new set of standards and a new set of rules and boundaries with not only your music, but like who gets to be involved in your music, who gets to, who gets to dip their hands in the jar of all that stuff. So for a while, it was just like I was doing it and that was it. And anything that happened would be organic. And people started liking it. So as it grew and it kind of like just happened, like one of the first tours we ever did was just a headliner. I was like, hey, we'll just play shows. I don't care. I don't care about advertising like X members of Who Gives a Fuck. I don't care. All I care about is I just want to play music and have it not matter if I get paid or if we hit back end or the streams were, I just didn't give a shit. I don't care. I just want to play some music with my friends. And that's what it's kind of remained to like even this day. But with like, things changing in the world and in my life and, we kind of reformed Trove over when I moved to the West Coast. And I got, I got blessed with 4 dudes that, man, I used to like, be the point person and do all these things and stress out and it like killed my life. And now I have 4 guys to just hold the weight. It's not even like weight. It's like a very amazing thing to be a part of. So now that there's like people involved that I absolutely love and they're my best friends and everyone, is working super duper hard, especially that guy right there. Then like, it just becomes this thing where we're like, okay, let's put a record out on the label. Let's get a booking agent. Let's go on tour. Let's do a thing. So when you say it's very, very new, it quite, honestly is. This is the record that we just put out was our first record we've ever put out. And again, I don't believe in the like, when you see X members of a band form a band, you're like, ooh, cool. I wonder if like there'd be some influence there. But you have to remember, like, they are forming a new band. It's going to be completely different and a departure. Like, nobody wants to sit around being like, God, remember that fucking pass I threw in high school? Let's just keep on talking about that. Why don't you guys ask me lots of questions about that? Like, I got a new thing going on. And so it caught its own vision and it's doing its own thing. And I'm just psyched that people like it. But more importantly, I'm psyched that I'm in a band with my best friends doing some cool ass music.
And I am fucking stoked with you.
Hell yeah.
Now, to give Jeff a little spotlight at the same time, because I don't want him just sitting there mean mugging the whole fucking time.
He's got a mean face. His face is so mean.
I know, right?
Oh,
God, trying to cool myself
off. I'm smiling like half of my life. I don't know.
Yeah, it's resting bitch face. Yeah. He's not actually mad. He'll be like this until you say like hi. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, he has to do that. He was a tour manager for over a decade. He has to have that face.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I think we've all dealt with enough tour managers to know that if they're not grumpy, nothing's getting done. We'll call it resting.
Yeah, now you don't get it.
But so just give us a little bit of your experience and your front row seat of the inception of the mighty Trove. Give us your recollection of everything, how it all came together for you.
Yeah, I mean, so in a nutshell, I wasn't even around for the beginning of Trove. Obviously, I've known these guys for a long time, but Trove started on the East Coast with Dave when Davey was living over there. And then when he moved to the West Coast, he decided to reform it. I initially came into the picture because I was just going to be tour managing for a while. And, because I have my day job printing all of these things on the wall. And so I was kind of in the scenario. Like I was going to, help tour manage for a while, help them get them off their feet, and then pass them on to someone who can take care of them a little bit better than I can. Obviously, the world doesn't always work out the way you plan, and it came to be that I would just end up playing in the band. And then, since then we've been doing this, and we've been kind of setting it up in a way that slowly but surely will take us to, an area where we want to be and to grow the band and get it out in the world more. But I guess you could say in a nutshell, my kind of coming into being in this band was kind of a large series of very pleasant mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like a dude that was already playing bass for us. Jeff was tour managing. Jeff's been a bass player for years, and it just got to this point where like, the dude no longer was playing with us, and Jeff was filling in. He's like doing all these things for the band because he cares about us and the band and the music, and he's having fun. And there's just a certain point like we played like our oh man, what's funny actually? I'm thinking about it. We played like one of our last shows. Was it one of our last shows? No, I guess it was like a little bit before that. But we just finished playing, and I walked off stage and looked at Tron, and I was like,
"That was the last one." Yeah,
was it the last one?
It was the last one we played before the pandemic. Yeah.
So, because Jeff had been playing with us on tours, we went and played like a high school. We did like so much cool stuff. But Jeff, like the soundboard would die, and Jeff would like run in the back and get it. He like tour manages all of our situations. And then the last show, the last show we ever played in Portland. Before this all kicked off, the pandemic, we walked off stage, looked at Tron, and I was like, "Yo, Jeff's in the band. Just go get him. Like, he's in the band. Like, what are we doing? He's been in the band for like 6 months, But it was cool because Jeff was doing all that stuff just to help his friends. It wasn't even like there was a payoff there. So, Jeff, and also I couldn't imagine my life without that guy. So now he has to stay. I don't care what any of those little pieces of paper say on the wall there. He's in and he's part of it. But it was.
I was gonna say, I think the other night Davey told me everyone's all vaxxed up, so we're like first night out in a while, and I think he was sitting there telling our agent, we were out with our booking agent for North America, and he said I'm not going on tour ever without Jeff, and so I kind of just assume now that I don't really have a choice in this and kind of captive in this situation. So I mean, I might as well just roll with it, So.
Let's go.
The kind way to put it would probably be fucking indentured servitude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's fun, so that's cool. At least
there's that.
Yeah.
You get to play in a fun band with fantastic songs in front of kids that like those songs, hopefully. Though you never really know with kids today, do you?
Kids today.
Kids today.
Because I think my goal is I'm gonna say this with all the love in my heart for like metalcore and things that I've come up with kids are stupid. Fuck you all. I'm here to play.
Yeah,
for
no,
adults.
you all suck. Seriously,
I'm here to play for adults that are gonna buy merchandise and support bands and just be like this. Oh, this person makes great music, and I'm gonna buy their T-shirts, and then cool. That's it. Like I don't expect the world from them. I just want to play music for people that just want to have fun, which I'm thinking that when this is all, I mean, things are starting to come back little by little. I really feel like shows, concerts, any events are going to be popping for like a while. You could start a band on Friday, play a show on Saturday, and probably sell that bitch out because like people are like, holy shit, I need to sweat. I need to get out of here. I need to do something. People are cooped up and they're ready to rock. So
yeah,
let them rock.
I'm actually, I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys, but being somebody that, like you, works in shows, is constantly surrounded by live entertainment, whatever the fuck it is, the idea of that opening wave just gives me like a morning panic attack every single day. Because, god damn it, it's just going to be nonstop. And my back hurts, and I don't like getting out of bed anymore.
Luckily, I think that hopefully I'll be just on the just playing side of it. It's going to take me a while to be able to be like in a crowd of people, like in that crowd of people.
Oh yeah, that part's nice.
But you know what? I'm old, so like when I go to shows now, I'm like, oh hell yeah, North Lane's playing. I'm so psyched to sit way in the back, up on the balcony, have a drink, and sit there with my wife and watch them play songs.
He's lying when he says that, because just a short amount of time before the pandemic hit, he was crowd surfing at
That was POD. That was POD. That's a different thing. Yeah. That was POD.
Come on, man. He's so alive.
Listen, my love for POD knows no bounds. And that night was actually hilarious. I was crowd surfing. Okay, can I tell the story? This is super embarrassing. I know we probably have questions.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so backstory, POD is one of my favorite bands ever. Just been a huge thing for me. Trove played with them when we did that. It was like a festival in Maine, and it was like Rob Zombie and POD and Under Oath and like just the absolute cream of the crop bands. So Trove got to play, which was awesome. And I like got to like meet Sonny again for like the like 19th time as like a fan. And he said my band's name and I almost like died. And he had seen Vanna before and he had remembered that. And I was like, oh, weird, cool. That's awesome. Fast forward to they played in Portland and I absolutely went off while they played. And I came across the top, and knowing like what to do when you come across the top, like seeing kids literally absolutely destroy themselves and like doing it when I was that age anyways, I know what to do. So I like rolled down and like popped back up, and a security guard who knows me but didn't recognize me at all, like got me in like a lock. But I was like, oh, I'm 36 years old. And I like spun out of the lock, and he like in front of everybody, and the whole front row was like, oh, but I was like, no, I'm not. I like him. He knows. And he just like grabbed me and like out the door with me. And I'm like saying like, it's me. And we get outside, and he was like, I was like, it's me, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that thing, whatever. And Sonny from POD stops the show. Now, meanwhile, Jeff, everybody's inside and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like outside trying to text Jeff or like our booking agent, Andy, was running the venue at the time. And I'm like, I just got kicked, and everyone's well aware what happened. He's like, yo, get that kid in here. And I had like blue hair at the time. He's like, yo, what's your name? Like, man. And I think he thought I was like 17 years old. And I was like, Dave. And he's like, this guy is a definition of punk rock right here. This kid right here. And I was like, I am your age. I am so close to your age, but you think I'm like 16. And they like a spotlight, and I see all of them, like Jeff and everybody, like just like, and I'm like, no, everyone please stop making this about me. So embarrassing. So Sonny, you'll never watch this, but I love you and I'm sorry.
I fucking hope he watches this, man. He might be the one of 8 people in here.
He might be one of them. So yeah, that's an embarrassing story about me. Sorry.
That story is fucking fantastic. And if we ended the interview there, I'd be perfectly content.
All right. Good night.
You got to be 16 for a night and be that guy that gets called out at shows because they got manhandled by security. That is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that was me. That was totally me. I've been in the scenario of both the security guard, the person, and the singer. I've been all of those people in my life before. It sucks.
That genuinely makes me very, 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 very happy. There we go. Best POD story I've heard.
The prompts that are happening down, the little comment things that are happening down here are so funny.
Yeah, welcome to StreamYards, man.
Oh, that's so sick.
We have a fantastic following here at Bucketlist Entertainment. All of the best things get said here. We'll move it on. I mean, before we go too deep into what's happening with the band and everything like that, as much as I hate talking about COVID shit, I feel remiss to do otherwise. How are you guys keeping level-headed during this whole fucking nightmare, and what are you doing to keep connected with each other? At least prior to being double vaccinated and being able to go out. And
so we had an entire release planned, as did like, everybody's band ever in the entire world. And we were like, how can we do this? How can we shift our plan and like figure out how to like make it work? So we like reconceptualized a bunch of our videos. Like everything that we do is like pretty in-house. Anthony is an amazing producer and produces all our music, along with Mike Somm. Jeff handles like all of our legal stuff and business stuff. I do all of our visuals. So we were like, okay, like we're not going to let this stop us here. So what can we do that's safe? And that's clearly safe and everybody knows. So we reconfigured our music videos to be able to like we did like a Kingdom of Mud, which is like a kind of a quarantine style video. And then the 2 videos that we did, Becoming Memories and Nightmare Enemy, which we released like back to back. Basically, it's just like a little bit of like a little movie. It's an Ouroboros movie, so it doesn't matter where you start it or stop it or whatever. It just goes in a circle. So we just got together and did that. And there's only like 2 of us and Tron's wife, who was already quarantining with her. And it was just like, we just needed to create something. And I think the biggest thing for us is that I think it helps that like we're all best friends that, and friends like in a sense that like we haven't become best friends over the last 10 years on the road. We just are like, we just made a band of our friends. So we're all involved in each other's lives pretty heavily anyways. So I think it was like, comforting that we were all in this together. And we were still all trying to make like micro moves. And also kind of connecting with like our friends, like from the touring industry, Jeff owns a production company here and also tour manages. So like we were kind of like connecting with everybody around in our like, extended circle, and everyone was kind of feeling the same way. So I think like for me, still creating, but also having that solace of knowing that everyone's kind of like, we're all going through this together and this sucks for everybody. Kind of kept me sane for like most of the time. I think that during this quarantine, I think a lot of people maybe like tightened up their circles a little bit more, and started focusing on things about their life a little bit more. So I think that got finite for what we wanted to do in a band. I think this kind of helped us define what we want to do, because things can go away so easily. And we still want to be able to create. We're still humans that need to create, and there's still humans that need to consume that creation. So, I think it helped us dial it in a little bit more and figure out what was the most important thing as a band, rather than like, what are we supposed to do? What should we do? And just what we want to do, at least for me.
Dig it. And Jeff, how about you, man? How are you keeping level-headed, and how are you keeping connected with everybody else in the band right now?
Like what Dave said, we're all friends anyway. And as far as the pandemic goes, it started as we all, with the exception of Tron, who doesn't live in the neighborhood, we saw each other fairly regularly. Yeah. But other than that, I've been working the whole time doing day job stuff. So that was fortunate enough that I could at least focus, minus the fact that, there was nowhere to go. So I was working at home and that sort of thing. But, from the band point of view, and especially my side of the role with the business side and stuff like that, I've been pushing stuff through and planning stuff and doing all this all the back end stuff that normally gets done anyway. The only difference is the timeline of it versus having the ability actually to plan stuff out for 6 months or a year down the line. Actually, from my point of view, it was awesome. Because usually, the crunch of a moving working band and being on the road and doing all this stuff, you usually have to do it in a timeline that's just, insanely impractical for most people. And being able to do that, while sitting at home with my dog was actually kind of nice. So in my sense, it kind of worked out and allowed me to plot and plan the things that we're going to be doing once the pandemic ends. A little bit better. It gave me at least more time to work on those things to make sure they get done right. But that's been the one good thing about it. Other than that, it's still we've been sitting now waiting and planning all these things, and we have all this stuff ready to go, and there'll be tour announcements and all that stuff coming up. But a lot of it throughout the whole thing was, when do we do this or that sort of thing? Because obviously, as you will probably all remember, going into this, we didn't really know how long this was going to last. I remember, the 2 weeks to stem the tide kind of thing. The 2 months, 2 weeks turned into 2 months, 2 months turned into 4. We're over a year at this point into it now, and we're starting to come out of it, and things are starting to open up again. But it's been interesting, but it's been cool that I've been able to focus on that side of the stuff while the other guys in the band are, everyone has their own defined role. And like Davey said, where he's, he handles the visuals and stuff, and he's been incredibly busy, producing and putting together 4 music videos during that time. Tron and Josh have been writing a whole bunch. And so it's actually been really cool to kind of see how we've all kind of settled into these roles that we have. And it's been a cool thing, because now once we do get back on the road and stuff, we'll more or less be the well-oiled machine that we were planning to be, but more so with the time to prepare to do it right.
Absolutely dig it. And I'm if nothing else, I'm happy enough to know that the business of needing to tell people to fuck off in a professional fashion hasn't taken a hit or anything like that with the occurrence of COVID. So If anything, the business of telling people
this is booming.
Business is booming, baby. Yeah, I've never been busier at telling people to fuck off. But the coolest thing about being able, having that business, is that now when I say it, people actually are like, oh shit, he probably means that. He's not just like saying that because I'm annoying him. It's now just like, oh shit, maybe I should actually just go fuck off for a few months.
I should fuck off. Yeah,
so it's been great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's it.
I mean, it's also even better to see it be successful in the sense that people are taking it seriously for once. Speaking on the idea of everything kind of slowly coming back to normal and everything like that, one, I still have no idea where my fucking pants are in my apartment. So I'm
for sure. I can tell you were pantsless right now. I knew you were pantsless right now. I knew it.
Oh, absolutely. I will get up at some point and prove otherwise, or I won't. Who knows? But I actually, myself as well as my partner in crime, Liz Imperiale, who nobody can see right now. She's on the 1s and 2s. Big ups to her for putting this together like usual.
She's sick.
We are both looking at this in a way that the entirety of the entertainment industry was never going to get the break that we got with COVID. We were never going to get this whole stagnation of like, all right, nobody do fucking anything, And I gotta say personally, just being a grunt, I've kind of appreciated that in a little teeny tiny way, as much as I miss my life. And I don't know if it's the same for you guys. Has this break been something that we all can definitely agree on that we kind of needed?
I think big time. It's kind of reset everybody's I hope so. I don't want to speak for everything. There's been a lot of tragedy in it. There's been a lot of, a lot of hardships. I lost a couple jobs. I picked up a couple new ones. But in the end, yeah, man, I think so. I think that everybody needed a break. I think that, these schedules that we get on, whether you're working a venue, a booking agent, manager, and a band on the road. I know for me, I'm not as touring as hard as I was, back in Vanna days. And there's a reason for that. There's a purpose for that. And then that is to set some better boundaries with me and, my music, and then my home, and then my work and the things that I need to get accomplished. And honestly, I think everyone got a chance to really kind of read back into their identity and be like, okay, so I have defined myself by this Instagram bio, of I am this emoji in this band, and this is what I do, and here it is, and it's everything, right? And then all of a sudden it's like the content runs out, you don't have anything, you're home, you're forced to get a day job or whatever else, and you're back in a scenario that you haven't been back to since you were maybe in your early 20s or even a teenager, depending on how long you've been touring. I started full-time pretty much at 20, 21 years old, and so to not be on the road for a whole year was honestly kind of amazing. It is time to set a standard of new boundaries with you and stuff like that. It is time for you to pay attention to your family a little bit more. It is time for you to maybe work on a new skill or a hobby or an interest. I think that it was definitely a time where people needed breaks, and you didn't really realize it. And it was scary at first, and what am I going to do? And then you start doing things, and you start discovering things, and you start finding beauty in what we're doing now. And then it goes long enough, and then of recent, tours have been announced, gigs are happening, things are, aside from Tennessee and Florida, who've been in full swing for a while now, things are pretty much back on a, or at least you have a vision. We signed with the European booking agency, and they're talking about 22, which is not that far away, and it's okay, I'm now going to take these lessons that I've learned over this break, these things that absorbed into who I am, and now I'm going to put it forward, going forward in my musical career. I am going to set some different standards. I am going to do things a little bit differently. And I hope that everyone got that chance. I hope that all my friends that I've spoken to over this break have had that kind of cathartic, okay, cool. I had been home for a while. I spent time with my dog and my partner. I saw my parents, maybe. It's just, I think everybody needed it because the schedules are you just do a record cycle, and then you just do another record cycle. You do another record cycle, and you just don't stop. And that's not sustainable as human beings, but you don't stop because we are one of the only industries that you can say, I do it because I love it. And it doesn't matter if I don't make any money. And that like that, like little con that you tell yourself will make you tour throughout your entire 20s and make no money because you do love it. But now at a certain point, now, being older and wiser, like you just figure out better things and better ways to be. So I'm happy for the break. I'm happy for the changes. And I am ready to, I'm definitely ready to get back out and play something. Like you said earlier, the thought of crowds, I'm thinking about a crowd now and I'm like, please stay like right over there, like right there, like right there. Cool. Stay right there. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to it, but I think that everybody really needed a reset.
You want to weigh in on that at all, Jeff?
No, I mean, I think that's pretty much hit the nail on the head, I think the only real, obviously the negatives of the isolation that people went through and stuff, but, I used to tell people that when I started touring, I was touring in Europe without cell phones. And so, the isolation kind of thing, I was almost well prepared for in that sense, because when you're stuck on a bus in Estonia somewhere, and you don't speak the language and you don't have a cell phone, you're kind of just with the people you have. And so there were some parallels to that. But other than those issues between the health issue of people who are actually dying out there, and once you get past those, it was an interesting thing to see, kind of, because it was allowed, me and I know other guys and everybody in the band and other people around the world, to kind of, some of them to help settle in, to figure out, more about what makes them happy and stuff like that. And so it's an interesting time, because this is obviously, been a really tough time for a lot of people. And, I'm just interested to see how it comes out, especially how it affects this industry, especially now with, the way we're even, I think, feel like we're more interconnected without being in the same room as people, getting to do things like this. I almost never did any interviews via the internet or anything like that before. It was always like, when we're in town, someone would come out to a show and do an interview there. And so the whole process of being able to do this is changed. And I think it's cool to see that aspect of it.
It's like there's more of like an effort that has to be made. You have to make more of an effort to put more stuff into connecting, more stuff into your art, all that.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. And it's definitely, even just from here on the media side of things, there are some conversations I've gotten to have just in the last year that I know that more than likely wouldn't have happened if this wasn't going down. So although it is absolutely a fucking tragedy, all of this is a nightmare. The world is on fire, and I hate 90% of people now. There's still, everybody could take a minute and try to say the things that have benefited in some way, shape, or form, or go and try to make something benefit them, as Davey so aptly says on his socials very frequently, and I fucking hang off of every single word every time you do. Go to fucking therapy.
Go to fucking therapy. Stop making all your problems everyone else's problems. Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, go to therapy, man. Holy hell. That's the other thing too. I think this was a time for everybody to like focus on their own mental health. I know for me, I've been nice, Liz. I spoke for a few years in the mental health field, and it was so haphazardly. I was just mostly speaking about growing up being a loser and getting a second chance to not be a loser, but it kind of fell into mental health stuff. And I know for me, this, over 2 years ago now, before COVID hit, taking a sabbatical from that and concentrating on my own mental health was like the best thing I could have ever done. Because man, it's just like you can tell who's working and who's not. And for those who are working, I applaud you. And for those who are not, man, you really should. It's so worth it and so dope. So yeah, go to fucking therapy, wash your hands, drink water. I don't know.
Buy some plants.
Yeah.
Tell people to fuck off.
You see this thing here? This thing's taking over my life, bro.
I've been watching the progression of it. It's fucking impressive.
Yeah, his name's Phil, and man, I got him when I first moved here 4 years ago, and he almost died, and here he is. So it's my guy right there.
See, nobody's safe from COVID. Not even fucking plants, man.
Oh, my plants got sad during COVID. Very sad. Lots of people's did though. I heard in my little plant community, I heard a lot about plant sadness during COVID. So
that's crazy.
Well, they reflect the environment. So
Yeah. Well, I imagine they can't be that happy having to spend all this time in the fucking house with us. Like, they at least got an 8-hour break.
They're like, bro, get your energy out of here, dude. What the fuck?
They're the ones telling you to go to fucking therapy. So before we get to before I get too caught up in a tangent, what are you guys listening to throughout this whole fucking nightmare? What is it that's keeping your ears happy in this process?
I'm just opening Spotify because I knew you were going to ask that question. I do truly love hearing and sharing bands because, like, I don't know how the fuck am I going to hear about stuff, you know? Okay, so I've been listening to for podcasts. I just need to plug this podcast. It's called Smartless. It's with Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And yeah, that's incredible. So like they're like best friends apparently, and the whole thing is one person brings on a guest, the other two don't know who it is yet, and it's surprising. The camera flips on, and then there they are, and they have like I just listened to the George Clooney one this morning. They have like an array of I mean, you can imagine their wealth of people they have. I've been listening to that for podcasts. I just need to plug that because I think everyone should listen to it. I've been listening to a lot of country and folk and indie. Your face, you were like, oh, weird, man. Yeah,
not even weird. It's
random, right?
Cool with it, dude.
Yeah. I think a lot of that stuff. A lot of throwbacks. I just needed to feel like familiar feelings and stuff like that. A lot of been driving to a lot of like 90s and early 2000s alternative rock playlists, 90s and like early 2000s emo playlists. North Lane just put out an acoustic EP.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, dog. I thought like I don't know.
Oh, I saw you post about that. Yeah. I've been meaning to check that out.
It's called 2D. It is incredible. They do like reimagined acoustic versions of five songs. Absolutely insane. So I've been listening to like country and then like kind of like riffy gent stuff. That's been my range. It's been my range of late. So band called
a little bit emo just to keep the sad going.
Just a sad. I mean, I'm a mood guy, right? Like that's what you do. You're supposed to like just like listen to stuff when the mood strikes you, right?
I fucking dig that. And Jeff, what are you listening to?
I mean, I can kind of double up on the country thing. I've been listening to a lot of Tyler Childers and Chris Knight and getting into the South. And it's funny, I was also, I went on this weird jazz kick too. We're listening to Art Blakey for a while to the point of when anyone was around me, it was just smooth jazz all over the place. Generally, I don't know. I got this weird thing lately where
smooth jazz all over the place.
Smooth jazz all over the place. Yeah, I got into this thing lately where I've been kind of digging around, listening to like older bands that I've loved like my whole life, but like never paid attention to like their demos or EPs, like kind of their early EPs. A lot of them have been re-releasing that kind of stuff these days, obviously, because the nature of we need something to release during this time so people don't forget about us because we're not touring kind of thing. And so like a lot of bands have been putting out, kind of like re-releases or re-recordings of their old stuff. And I've been big on that. Like Moving Mountains like re-released their first record. And
what?
Yeah. He's like, there we go. Got to go check that out.
We're all listening.
I love that.
Yeah, and Moving Mountains, for those that don't know, was this this kind of like quintessential emo band from the late 2000s, early 2010s, who had all this kind of promise in the world, but for whatever reason, it just kind of didn't connect very well.
They're a bands band. Dude.
Yeah, I learned about them from a drummer of a band that I used to play with in Seattle.
Drummers are insane. That makes sense.
Yeah, but they were phenomenal. Of this kind of like atmospheric kind of rock band, and they were great. And they re-released their first record, like kind of like remastered it, and I've been listening to that kind of nonstop for the last week now. So we're gonna go with that. Yeah,
that band's so good.
I fucking dig that. Now, with the fact that, like you said, people got to be releasing content. Yeah. There you go.
That's our guitar player.
That's hilarious. You see, I wouldn't know that because somebody doesn't have a social media with everybody's fucking names on it.
You want to tag everybody? You want to
but do something, okay? The amount of espionage I had to do just to get Jeff's fucking name today.
Right? Oh, especially Jeff. You don't know. You can't know shit about that.
But now I do. Now I know he's also in a band called Hostilities, and I get to plug that shit in a random spot.
They're sick. They're so sick.
And another thing I needed to listen to, actor. So that's fucking awesome. And speaking of, and yes, Liz did pass on that shit responsibly. I was trying not to bother her, which is kind of the daily struggle of her being my best friend, is I have to bother her for everything. So I try
That's
to
what your best friend is for, dude.
Exactly, but I try to skim things off. You know, it's gotten to the point where literally she has to try and help me find my fucking pants and pick a t-shirt if I have to go do groceries. There's only so much babysitting that can go down here.
That's what best friends are for. That's my best friend lives next door to me because he has to. So
it honestly looks like you're pointing at the fucking plant, but yes,
it's Phil. Yeah, it's Phil, my best friend. It's my guy. It's my dude.
Oh man, I fucking love that. All right, so I gotta plug your album. Obviously, we've gone almost 40 minutes. I gotta try and speed this up a little because we're having too much fun. So World came out, I believe it was Christmas Day, right? You guys pumped that out like right at the buzzer end of the year last year. Fucking phenomenal record. With the fact that this has been what it is, with the fact that that was actually a very anticipated album, at least by me, because you started putting out singles however the fuck long before. I found myself checking monthly, being like, "Is it out yet? What about now? How about now? No, same song's cool."
We really wanted people to start yelling, "Drop the album" at us. That's what we were really trying to do. It worked.
Just a little bit more.
You gotta wait a few more 6 months, and then we're good.
I think I actually did send an angry message out to at least one person or another, being like, "When the fuck is this coming out?" So how do you feel with the climate of today that's been received? And segueing from that, what do you guys have coming up? Are you obviously writing? You obviously got something in the fucking works. You mentioned a European booking agency. What's coming from Trove after what we've already seen?
You do the what's coming. I'll handle the other thing. What was the other question again? Oh yeah, how do you feel about it?
How do you feel it's been received? How do you feel that people have been able to soak this album in from you?
I think that, well, for me, first of all, this album means more to me now than it ever meant when we wrote it. And we wrote that thing 2 years ago ish, 2 years ago ish, a year and a half ago ish. Oh yeah, bro. Because we were working on it kind of quietly and in the background for a while until we started releasing singles, and then COVID and whatever. And we're like, oh shit, it's been a while.
I'm even more mad at you now.
I know. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to say that because he's gonna be pissed. We put it out and put it on a Christmas Day because everyone was going to be home, and that was a really good day to do that. It was good response. Again, no one telling us what to do. We were just we're just going to do what we want to do. And it's been great to read the words of so many people, both older fans of To the Wind, or fans of Hostilities, or fans of Vanna, whatever band us from or whatever. Been it's great to hear this progression. It's great, you know what I mean? It's really nice to hear when people, stick around and they stay with you for a long period of time. That's so cool. But and on the other side, it was awesome to be who is this band? This band's new. How come I never heard of them? All this other stuff, which it's funny when we play live. It's usually someone's dad comes up to us and y'all are a new band. And I'm well, I mean, we are new. We have 30 years of, he's I knew you guys were rockers, So I think that it's been cool to make new fans, which if your dad likes our band, that means probably more to me than you think it does, because your dad probably listens to dope music. It's been cool to see that reaction. It's been cool to see the numbers. Our socials, it's social media, and we want to definitely keep a distance between that, and we post stuff on there, but it's been cool on the back end to see all the numbers of streaming, and I'm oh, people give a shit about this record, and it's been cool to have this kind of organic growth with it. Organic is something that you say when your material isn't being pushed somewhere, so you just say it's organically happening. So I'm going to choose that language to say it's been really nice for our stuff to organically just flow out without having to depend on stuff. And then recently, we've been, and this is kind of segue into what we're doing. Recently, we've been on a radio campaign, both college and indie and major radio, and our stuff's getting played on major radio stations, and it's getting a lot of love over there, which has been great and crazy. And I know that like radio, like everyone just downloads stuff, but there's like something crazy to me about like a DJ in Minneapolis playing Trove at 8:30 at night, and you're just listening to it. Like, that's cool to me. Like, that's like OG stuff to me that like means like more to me almost than like hitting play on Spotify. It's always there, you know.
Yeah.
It's catching that song at the moment to be like, who was that? Because that's how we used to listen to music. And I do like it a lot more now because things are more accessible, but like just something cool about that radio thing. So radio campaign is something that we've been like kind of getting on board while we're just sitting around not being able to play live. And then we got a European booking agent, Jeff. You can
down the line.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been doing some booking stuff. We got a European agent who's going to start working on expanding our reach over to Europe next year. We have a couple of tours not ready to be announced yet for the States, but those are going to be happening, you know, mostly there's going to be one in the South, and I guess probably most of the South, and then Florida, I guess, because technically Florida's not the South, right? But
so Florida's its own little entity.
Yeah, the South and Florida coming up later this year, and then we're going to be all over the West Coast early next year, and then there's going to be some fill-ins things there with, you know, kind of hitting around Texas and stuff like that. And so the touring kind of thing is interesting because the nature of how it's going to play out is still very much kind of interesting because all these states have different rules, at least currently. So booking those has been interesting, but we have that coming, and then we're going to be hitting Europe, and you know, hopefully from there it'll be back by that time, you know, mid 2022, it'll be back more where we can say things like, you know, we're definitely coming for you in the fall kind of thing.
Right.
So that's the plan for now. I anticipate it's going to get more busy as we kind of see things open up more a bit. I know that, you know, Europe said they're going to start letting people in who are vaccinated, but it'll be interesting to see, you know, what does that mean? Is our shows coming back in Europe yet? Because I know that, you know, in the United States there's shows that are already happening in a number of states, but I haven't seen that elsewhere in the world. So we'll see how that goes. We're just kind of playing it by year and booking currently, you know, smaller between 1 and 2 week runs. It kind of doing these little like regional things until, you know, we can get back into the full cycle, and so that'll be cool.
And recording a new record.
So fantastic addition to that, because I do got to ask, I even though we're going to start wrapping this up any fucking second now, are you planning on releasing any new music prior to being able to get back on the road, or are you going to continue to give world the time it needs to breathe and the time it needs to be out there?
That's a good question. I like how that was phrased. I think that we have some material that's, you know, we have some material that's like an extension of World that we are going to definitely be releasing soon. We have some material that we recorded that isn't our own that we're going to release pretty soon. And then we've been working on this second record we just, Tron and Josh are just go nuts. And so we have a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. And, you know, we've kind of just been going back and forth on sound and everything else. But I think the idea for us is we have a bunch of stuff that we have that are unreleased, you know, and I think we're just going to start releasing music and visuals and then get back on the road, and then boom, like you're just going to have a new record. It'll just be there. You know, I always hate the like talking about the future announcement. Like we're big things going on over here. Like check back in with us. But everyone's kind of in that mode right now. So I think for the future for music, we got more than enough. And we probably also, I had a conversation with Tron the other day, but we're probably also on a vibe where we're like, yeah, let's just write a bunch of more songs. Like I know we have these ones and they're dope, but like let's like write another like album worth of songs. That might be a completely different sounding like album, and then maybe we just like delete that one and put it there. Who knows? There's no rules. We're gonna do whatever we want. Jeff, show your dog. People want to see your dog. Go get where's Trove?
Everybody, we need to see all the animals immediately. I was actually gonna try and slip that in somewhere.
Trouble.
Your dog's fucking super cute, dude. Like
Beaches.
I can hear it
Come here.
coming.
Beaches.
Oh, we got more? Yes, bring them on. Fuck my question. Fuck everything about what we do. Dogs, now.
Okay. You got it.
There we go.
Oh, yes, hello.
That's Trouble.
Oh,
She's an old lady, so she was sleeping. I just woke her up from her nap. Hi.
and now terror has come to visit you.
Hello. You sit. You sit. Say hi. Say hi.
Oh, we got a competition going.
It's Beans. She was sleeping. She is not stoked to be here, y'all. She just turned 10, by the way, everyone.
Trying to keep myself composed here, man. I love dogs a little bit more than I like anything ever.
Yeah, we could have done this the whole time and not talked about Trove at all, and I would have been fine with it.
I really feel like a jackass for not even suggesting it. Like,
Well,
I'm just gonna
I'll-
fucking end my career here. I don't even know why I'm
I'll-
fucking bothering.
I'll
This
hold
is
it to
the
the rest
closest
of the
thing I have to a dog. It's a blanket.
Oh, that is cute though.
It's my way of keeping my own dog in my heart because he doesn't live with me and it makes me upset. But nonetheless,
He's there though, with you in spirit.
he's there. He's in blanket form. He snuggles up to me whenever I'm cold and sad and maybe a little drunk. So, all right. So while we've still got at least one dog in the picture, I'm going to try and compose myself. I got two last little things I'm going to put you guys through, and then we're going to go on to questions for anybody in the chat. So anybody who's got questions in the chat, start writing them up. Don't put them in yet, or else you're going to get lost. I like to try and have a little fun with you motherfuckers every time you're stuck with me. I do a thing called Battle of the Blank. I make you pit two fictional situations in a fight to the death, and you got to tell me which one would win. Sometimes it's comic book characters, sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's fucking whatever the fuck. Since I couldn't find anything that you guys like that was of the nerdy variety, we're just going to stick with bands that you might fucking know because you've either toured with them or worked with them or whatever the fuck it is. Are we ready?
Okay.
Do we have any questions?
I'm ready. I'm a huge nerd. I can't believe you didn't find anything about that. But that's fine.
You've got a lot of photography shit up right now, dude. It's kind of like.
Yeah, I'm a secret nerd. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Marvel, all that stuff. Okay, let's do it.
You and I are friends now, whether you like it or not.
I like
I mean, I do have a fucking Hulk poster.
I know. I saw that, man.
I got all kinds of random. I'm wearing a Darth Vader ring as we speak. I got a fucking Zoidberg mug. I'm telling too many things about myself.
Your mustache and goatee told me everything I need to know about you.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Battle of the Blank. We're going to start with a very, very easy but hard one. This is bands that I know you guys have at least worked with, or toured with, whatever the fuck. Who would win in a fight to the death? Stick to your guns or straight from the path?
Oh shit!
Who are you pissing off today, dude?
Tom and Jesse are gonna kill. I can't. That's yeah.
I'm sure they would just. I'm sure they would just beat each other to death.
Just draw.
Yeah, I'm sure they would just beat.
Man.
I'm sure they just beat each other to death, or
Yeah.
joke each other to death. Have you ever been around those guys?
I have.
No serious moments. No serious moments. Yeah, they would just actually do bits with each other until they all died. That's my answer.
Or just put out another band and call it Trade Win.
What?
Retired.
Quite literally.
I was just way too stoned for that whole thing. Okay.
All right. So stick to your guns and straight, ends in a draw or ends in a supergroup. Next one. This is a retired edition. Who wins in a fight to the death? The Chariot or Let Live?
Oh shit. I think Jason's tough, man. I think Jason would just like physically beat some ass. I mean, if that's what we're talking about. And if we're talking about like, what record was better, I don't know if we can.
No, we're talking about straight up like who's dead.
I think Jason would whoop everyone's ass in the Chariot and then apologize for it because he's like an actual good guy.
Which is funny because he'd have to beat up Stevis, who's in Fever.
Who's in
with
Fever?
him.
Yeah.
So he has to beat up Stevis, and no one can beat up Josh Goggin because he's the nicest human being on the entire planet. So you'd go to punch him and be like, "Get out of here, man!"
Right. That's yeah.
So Jason would whip everyone's ass except for Josh Goggin because he's too nice and no one would fight him. That's my final answer.
I'm loving every second of this. I just want y'all to know, in case the smile on my face hasn't given it away.
Yeah, that's not only.
This one I actually put together deep diving your fucking Twitter, and I am very, very excited to hear the answer. Who wins in a fight to the death, 311 or Incubus?
This is the biggest I've seen.
Chill edition, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. When you get 311 and Incubus together, it's just vibes, dude. Ain't nobody fighting nobody. Everyone's just getting high. Amber is the color of everyone's energy. We're good. No fights. Everyone's peaced and everyone's good, man. And guess what? I'm there and I'm super stoned. Just hanging out.
So when I was a teenager, I saw 311 play with Incubus together one time. And there was a huge riot that kind of broke out and a bunch of fires. I mean, Korn was also on the bill, and so was Cottonmouth Kings. So, it was,
Jeff's 70, so this was like,
1995 was a weird time.
He's talking about a local festival. It's like they're all their first shows. He saw
these 100. And it was funny. It was actually an extremely violent show, given the sense that I remember, the guys from 311 were talking a whole lot of shit on stage. But, I was young then, so it was kind of like, this is that. And then you grow up and you're like, wait, those are like not violent bands. This is
Yeah, but have you ever been to Omaha? Omaha style, dude. Shout out to Omaha. People be tough in Omaha, bro. Don't underestimate Omaha.
My money, if there's a rumble between 311 and Incubus, my money is on 311.
I mean, both of those bands' early shit was bordering like that new metal, beat the fuck out of everybody crap.
Yeah, there's some sleeper.
If Nick Hexum is playing the riff, Nick Hexum is playing the riff to Down, then they're gonna win for sure. But you got to understand, like Incubus is like they're floating in the fifth dimension. They're like, you can't even touch me. Your fists go right through me. So again, no winners.
No, I gotta say, like, I love all of these answers. It's sick tight as fuck. I'm all the fuck about it.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch any of the 311 live streams that have been happening? They've been doing all of the early records in their entirety. Like I've seen every single one.
No, that's amazing, and I feel like a bad fan for not doing that.
Oh, you should. This is all once again another credit to the mighty Liz Imperiale. She keeps me in check and watching 311.
Good.
All of them were absolutely sick tight, if you will, and on top of that, were just the most dad-like things I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah, because they're actual fathers.
Old hippies, fucking just going for it. It was too fucking good for words. It was genuinely amazing. All right, now, very, very, very last question. We've gotten through the Battle of the Bank. Thank you for being as cooperative as you've been. This is a question we ask everybody that comes through the bucket list pipeline. It is the cheesiest thing in the fucking world, and we love it. With everything that both of you have already accomplished in your lives, be it PhDs and telling people to fuck off, or touring, or festivals, or getting called out by POD, what is still left on your bucket list? What do you either individually or as a band still need to accomplish before you die?
I've never been to Japan. Our Japanese tour got canceled. So I've never been to Japan. And that was like one place that it's like those places that you travel that your friends are like, oh shit, man, that's crazy. Japan for me, I want to go really, really bad. And that's just because I know they have like kick-ass shows and like there's a scene there. Obviously, I would literally tour to any place in the entire world. Japan, and then I haven't played a show in Hawaii. It'll be the last state for me to play a show in. So Hawaii and Japan. And we had a Hawaii, Japan, and China tour, and it all got canceled. So my old band. So for Trove, and I know that the rest of the guys are on board with this band is going to Japan and this band is going to Hawaii. So
I fucking love it. That's actually a significantly more common answer than you might think. And Jeff, how about you? What do you got left, man?
I want to do an actual world tour, and I don't mean that like metaphorically, because every band in the world's like, oh, I'm hitting a world tour, and you're like, sick. You're doing North America, like Western Europe, and maybe Australia.
New Zealand
I want to tour like in a van in Africa. Nobody does it. Everyone says they're going over. I want to actually do that. So I don't know the logistics of that. I have no idea how that would work out. But I actually want to do like a real world tour where we play on every continent at one, like all in one swoop.
Didn't Have Heart do that for their farewell? Didn't they like actually?
They went to South Africa.
Yo, that is more
Cool,
Africa
but-
than I've ever been to. So
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, but I mean, I want to play a show in Congo. I want to play a show in Kenya. I want to like.
have you seen
wanna
that?
do
Have you
something
seen that movie? You want to play a show in Congo? Have you seen that movie? I don't
Yeah,
want to play a show there. I don't want
I
gorillas to
definitely-
kill me, dude.
you know,
Get out of here, dude.
I think it's a great idea. I want to be the first band besides Metallica that says we're doing a world tour and actually mean it, and not just I mean, because otherwise, like, all these.
do it with Metallica.
Well, Metallica has actually done a world tour and like
Let's just
played
do it
on
with-
every continent. Yeah,
For wishing, let's just wish that we do it with them. You know, careful
I mean,
about wishing.
that would be cool too. I don't know if they still do it anymore because they're old now, but I know like in the 80s and 90s, like they were doing world tours and they were hitting 6 continents. So
Yeah, they were doing
you
good
know,
stuff.
like other than Antarctica, which I mean, I guess that'd be cool too. But I guess there's not enough people to buy tickets there. But
Let's just do it anyways.
I'd play a show to penguins. That sounds fun too. So
I played a show to 6 people before. I'll go to Antarctica and do it there. It's not a big deal to me.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
let's
fuck
go.
it.
The hilarious part about that is you could totally get away with doing a world tour and not actually go to the whole world, because all you got to do is call your tour World.
Right.
The fact that the fucking
Nobody-
album
Nobody
this
questions
is
it.
funny and it's not going to be.
To
Nobody
be fair,
nobody questions
world
it.
tour.
When you say world tour, nobody seems to question it for whatever reason. And me being the master of fuck off over here, I'm just like, that's not a world tour. Like, so my bug is I want to do a real world tour.
Oh my god! I need to see a tour called PhD and fuck off. Like,
And it's gonna say world tour, and we'll only play songs off of world, but we'll only actually, you know what? My new thing is this. I wanna play on the moon. I wanna play on a space station on the moon.
okay, Elon.
Listen,
The moon.
I love Elon. I love Elon Musk, not because I love the guy. I'm interested in people like that are doing the craziest of shit. I love the idea of him, just like I love the idea of Kanye West. Like, I just like people who are out there doing crazy shit behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. So let's go to the moon. Why not? Who cares? Who cares? Who gives a shit anymore?
Fly me to the moon.
We can't live on this planet, so
I
let's
mean,
get out of here.
maybe Frank Sinatra's living there too. So
Maybe he is. Maybe Elvis is up there with him. He didn't die in the shit. Chewbacca, man.
He's up. No, Tupac. Tupac's
Oh,
up there.
Tupac's up there. Fuck.
Aaliyah's up there. They're all up there. Let's play a show for them.
Trove's
wonder
opening
if
up for all the dead celebrities, man.
I wonder if they like shitty rock metalcore. I hope they do, because we're on the way. Fingers
Whether you
fucking
like it or
crossed.
not. Elon Musk sponsored this fucking interview. That is everything that I've got for everybody that still is in the chat and that is still watching this. I appreciate you. I'm sure we appreciate you collectively. If you have questions, start sending them our way, as there's none pending right this second. I'm going to be a selfish piece of shit and start plugging things. For everybody that's watched, thank you again for doing so. If you want to rewatch this recorded, keep an eye on our Facebook at Bucketlist Entertainment on Facebook, as well as all of our other socials. Instagram is going to be Bucketlist ENT, Bucketlist TV on YouTube, Bucketlist ENT on Twitter. All of the fucking things everywhere.
All the buckets, bro.
Do the bucket list stuff, man.
All the buckets.
I'm right back here next Tuesday in my living room, because where the fuck else am I going? Having a conversation with somebody from Atreyu, and I'm super stoked for it. It's going to be fucking awesome. Right
It's
here.
like the new episode.
You guys better watch as well. All right, we got some questions. Let's keep them coming. All right, Dave, when we fighting over the ownership of the IKEA pillows? This sounds like it has a story.
No, it's our friends just trolling our live. See, like, this is what happens. We do these live things, and when they're live, I'm like, is that cool? And I'm like, yeah, all of our friends are going to just troll these. That's what's going to happen. They just, anytime I do a live on Instagram, all our friends just troll them. And to be fair, I had the pillows first, so I won already. I already had them. I won. It's over. Chelsea, so that's it.
I fucking
Actually,
love that.
Mhm.
Where would each member of Trove be in a human centipede?
Oh, my
Who's eating
God.
assholes, guys? Bring it on.
Well, with the way that my life is, wherever the guys are, I'm right in the middle. So whatever's going on, I'm getting it. I'm sending it. That's me. I think Jeff's probably at the front, right?
I'm always driving anyway. So
Yeah, so you're at the front.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Cody's at the back. I don't know why, but he's at the back. I just, you know what I mean? Like, he's at the
Yeah.
back. I think Josh is in front of me, and then Tron is wearing just a Dom latex suit with horns and a whip, and we're in the centipede because of Tron. So.
So he's not even in it. He's just there fucking getting lubed up into a latex suit.
This is his fantasy. That thing. That's his That's him. So he's doing that. So that's how that goes.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah.
This makes me very happy. All right, I was a big fan of Vanna's cover of Zero by Smashing Pumpkins, as well as the rest of ALT. If Trove put out a covers album, what would be on it?
If Trove puts out a covers album, or when Trove puts out a covers album?
Oh, is that?
Listen. I said we had some stuff that. Okay, so I'll say a song.
Give me the tea, dude.
I'm not going to tell you the real stuff, but what I've been listening to recently that I would like. What did I say we should cover? I was just listening to a band. I was like, we should cover this song. Foo Fighters would be incredible for us to do. I would cover a POD song. Yeah, I mean, I would love to. The thing is, we covered all in Vanna. Like, that was kind of like my idea, and the label loved it. And they're just songs that I love. So, like, I still love all of those kind of songs, and so do all these guys. So I would do a Linkin Park song. I would do kind of anything from like the early 2000s and the 90s. I'm pretty sure Jeff's answer is anything that Oasis has ever done. That's what Jeff would want to do.
And LL Cool J.
I fucking love that.
Like a Mama Said Knock You Out cover?
Ooh.
I've been in every band I've been in. So for 20 years, I've been trying to get one of them to cover LL Cool J, and like I think with Hostilities, like I've kind of like mentioned it to them, and they're like, yeah, they do they're the ones who have kind of appeased me the most on it. But you know, Dave's affinity for the 90s here might actually work on that one.
It just touched a little spot. Yeah. My heart, my old flannel, decrepit old guy 90s heart. Of course. We'll definitely be covering stuff. Oh, our drummer really wants to cover Godsmack, and I am 100% down with doing that. He wants to cover Godsmack and System of a Down. So, I mean, whatever. Who gives a shit? Let's just do it. Who cares? You know, I don't care anymore.
Fucking do it, man.
Just want to have fun. I just don't care.
Ain't nobody your boss. All right, now your own guitarist wants to know who wins in a death match between all of our bands.
Oh, okay. So here's the bands that are in Trove. It's Trove, Last Light, Hostilities, Low There, No Bragging Rights. Am I missing any?
Isn't Josh in a new band now too?
Oh yeah. Josh playing for a band called Corley. I think
Larissa's beating everyone's ass.
Larissa's beating everyone. Yeah.
Larissa from Hostilities is beating everyone's ass.
Beating everyone's ass.
Yeah. But she's also like the nicest person in the world, so she'd also apologize after doing it.
She'd be like, "I'm so sorry," and just killing me.
Just keep fucking you up.
Yeah, but low key, I think Albie, the singer of Josh's other band, he's like mad quiet. He's one of our best friends, and he's just really quiet. But I think he could just pop off and kill someone one day. So, probably just Larissa and Albie just standing there, covered in our blood, being like, "Well, that was easy."
Every little bit of me is so very happy with how all of this went. We have gone for an exceptionally long time. I appreciate both of you for taking so much out of your fucking day to indulge my fucking mug. My
partner has dinner ready. Dude, my partner has dinner ready.
So not only did she do the groceries, she came back and already made dinner in the time that we've been having this conversation.
She's better than I am. Everybody likes me because of her. Is that facts, Jeff?
That's absolutely true.
Right.
I love that. That's what you get for having a little bit of Canadian in you, man.
There's a sex joke there somewhere, but I'll let it go.
It's very apparent now. It wasn't before. I was actually trying to behave for once. Do you guys have anything particularly that you want to plug or that you want to put out there for the world to see, even if it's in your own personal lives, whatever the fuck it is? No, plug is not another sexual innuendo. This is your time, guys.
Go listen to World. It's streaming on all your stupid platforms that go right to your stupid phone. So listen to it, and it will make you feel good, maybe, because who knows? And you probably
I
need
can
it
attest to
in a
this.
shitty year. And you can go work out to it or run to it or cry to it or do whatever you want to it. But go listen to it because fuck it. What else are you doing?
Yeah.
And Jeff, how about you? You got anything you want out there?
Drink water before you go to sleep.
Yes. Wash your hands, go to therapy, drink water, do yoga, stretch out before you go to bed and when you wake up. Call your mom. That's it.
And for the love of all things holy, please get a fucking vaccine.
For real.
Once again, thank you everybody for coming out. Have yourselves a fucking fantastic night from both me at Bucketlist Entertainment and these lovely boys at Trove, and as well a million other projects.
Pretty much. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.